Hello, Bible readers. It's Friday, January 22nd. We're reading the first three chapters of Proverbs, and I'll get to that in a second. But first, I'm going to talk about John chapter 14, verses 15 through chapter 15, verse 17. There's two very distinct pieces of what we're reading in John. First, in chapter 14, we've got these verses describing two dimensions of a believer's love relationship with Jesus. The first is that there's no way to separate one's love of Jesus and the keeping of his commandments. If you love Jesus, you're going to keep the commandments. That's what it looks like. And number two, the abiding and indwelling of the presence of God, even after Jesus' death and departure with those who love him. So the two aspects here are, if you love him, you're going to keep his commandments, and even after Jesus is dead, Jesus is going to be present somehow with those who love him. So we will keep those commandments. Jesus will remain present with us. That's, we're getting into the parts where Jesus is really starting to talk about, here's not only who I am and from where I come, but here's what I mean, and what I'll continue to mean after I'm gone. The question is, can the disciples still love him when he's gone? Is that possible? Can the next generation of disciples love Jesus without having had a personal relationship with him? This part of John chapter 14, of course, says yes, but not by clinging to a memory of Jesus, or by retreating into their private experience of Jesus. They're going to continue to love Jesus by doing Jesus's works, by keeping his commandments. And that, of course, is still how Christians talk to each other today, that's how we remember Jesus, is by doing what he did and participating in his love and mercy. Okay, then we get into chapter 15. These are the final I am sayings. And this is the vine and the branches metaphor are a powerful, maybe among the most powerful metaphors that John wants to get at, because this is what the church should look like, is for the church to, embrace this model of corporate life that is like a vine and its branches, because there's an interrelationship, there's a mutuality, an indwelling that vines and branches have. Branches are almost completely, you can't tell where one starts and another begins within a vine. Branches just kind of, they're all over, they're everywhere. There are no freestanding individuals in community, you could say, if you use this vine and branches metaphor. The fruitfulness of each individual branch depends on its relationship to the vine. It gives up individual status to become one of many encircling branches. So John's community would be a challenge to our modern understanding of, Western understanding of individualism and private lives. And John's community would be all about social interrelationships, corporate accountabilities, and to bear fruit would be a corporate act. It's not, what do you do as a Christian? It would be, what do we do as a church? Okay, which is harder, of course, in many ways, but possible. Individual fruitfulness isn't terribly possible. That's a whole other conversation. Anyway, when we talk about Proverbs, this was one of the books that was on when I was in confirmation. I remember being drawn to Proverbs, like, okay, fortune cookie wisdom, give it to me, right? So let me say a word about wisdom. The theology found within the wisdom books does not add up to a system, for the writers did not have a speculative aim. Rather, they sought to instruct the next generation, solve specific problems, collect, critique, and hand on ancestral traditions. The central assumption of all the books is that God made the world, an order within which the human race must learn to live, and that order was given privileged expression on the day of creation. Through wisdom, human beings can cope with the world and live happy and successful lives. That's the point of Proverbs, is to hand on generational wisdom that people would thrive in what can seem like a disordered and chaotic world. So jump on into Proverbs, have fun with it. We might even share what our favorite Proverbs are. Mine's in chapter 11. I'm just saying that. I am one with my God. My God is with us, all of us, at all times and in all places.